4 cameras. You guys are serious.
Okay.
Oh!
Hello everybody, welcome to the 3rd episode of Caucus. And we have a special person today, Emily Randall.
Hello.
Emily, all right, from Washington State, all the way in the West Coast. East Coast, West Coast. All right, so Emily, I want to know, like, did it ever happen to you, did someone not know that you were Latina because of your name and, you know, they were talking about you or something, or you heard something that you needed to know? And you were able to get the information because they didn't know you were Latina.
Well, people often don't know that I'm Latina because my last name, Randall, but also because if I don't get out in the sun very often, you know, parece un poco...
Tú pareces Latina.
But I started learning Spanish in high school because my grandparents stopped speaking Spanish to my dad and his siblings when they moved to Washington State from Utah. But when I started learning Spanish, I could eavesdrop on my grandparents. So then I got to know things that I was trying to figure out.
You got all the intelligence.
Yeah, where are the Christmas presents?
Good. And so tell me a little bit about Washington State. I know that you are the first Latina elected in Washington State.
Not the first Latina.
Really?
In fact, 3rd, I think. We had Jamie Herrera Butler.
Oh, yes.
Marie Lusenkamp Perez.
Oh, Lusenkamp, yes.
And me. I'm the first LGBTQ member from Washington State.
That's very good.
First woman from my district and first LGBTQ Latina in the country to represent any congressional district.
So tell me about the rainforest out there.
It's beautiful.
I want to know about the rainforest.
You haven't come to visit yet?
No, I gotta go.
We got Sasquatch.
Wow, I heard about him.
And I don't think you can see it here, but hanging in my office some Roosevelt elk antlers because we have incredible wildlife in the National Forest and in the National Park. The Olympic Mountains, the whole rainforest. It's the only temperate rainforest in the Northern Hemisphere.
That's great. Moss
that looks like it's from the time of dinosaurs. It's really beautiful.
Really? So what do you think about Washington, D.C.? Washington State, Washington, D.C.
Well, I go back to the better Washington every weekend.
Oh, okay.
You know, I grew up in my district, but I did live on the East Coast for a while in college, and it's nice to be you're here in DC, in the nation's capital, to be exposed to so much history, buildings that are older than I think almost any building in my district. But also it's a challenge. It's not the nicest time to be getting to know this Washington.
It's a fight, it's a fight, but I think you bring it with you, and you bring that West Coast attitude with you, which is important here to get things done.
Well, I'm so glad to be on the team, especially in the Hispanic
So Mexican food, Washington or Washington State or Washington, D.C.?
I think my Washington.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly my abuela's Mexican food, but also we have Washington State.
Mild spicy or real spicy?
Real spicy.
Caliente.
My abuela ate jalapeno every day for breakfast all her life. We know how to handle spice. But also the Washington State on the west side of the state is majority white, really, really white. We do have some migrant communities on the Olympic Peninsula who work in the fish canning industry and forestry in the floral sector, migrant farm workers that have brought really beautiful food with them to our Washington.
So I see your office is like a work office. It's not a traditional one. And these babies are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, comfortable.
I bought them with my own money.
So what made you change things around? You don't like the traditional stuff, right?
Well, when I was first elected to the state senate, I knew that one of the things that was important to me was to make my office welcoming to folks who had never come to the legislature before, you know, who might be intimidated by marble bathrooms. And so I brought a lot of bright colors. I got accessible furniture. I always try to have kids' toys in the office, kids' books. And here I feel like it's just as important. We're the people's house.
That's
and people
right,
need to be
that's
comfortable
right.
here.
And you have Frida.
Yes!
I know, you got Frida and I got the chanclas, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was there when you got that award, and congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
We look for great things from you. What are your legislative priorities? Tell me what they are.
Well, the things I care about most are making sure that all of my constituents, my neighbors, people in our entire country have access to the tools that they need to build the lives that they imagine. My grandparents moved my dad and his family from Ogden, Utah, where they grew up speaking Spanish, to Washington State in order to have more economic opportunity. And they were able to build a really great life for themselves. But our economy has changed so much where you can't just have a regular blue-collar job and always be able to take care of your retirement, own a home, pay for childcare. And we need to make sure that everyone has access to
You
healthcare
mentioned the
and housing.
grandparents a few times already.
Yeah,
They must have made a big impact in
they're
you.
really important to me.
Yeah, they were really. So what about them? Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, so my grandpa was born in 1930, and when he was 17, he joined the Marines.
Wow.
And he ended up fighting in combat in Korea.
Korean War veteran.
And he didn't talk about it a lot until the last few years of his life. But he had this incredible patriotism. He loved his country. He loved the Democratic Party. He really believed that voting was important and that taking care of your neighbors was important.
A lot of Korean veterans are really strong Democrats.
Yeah.
The guy that I replaced, Charlie Randall, was also a Korean.
Oh, yeah.
Purple Heart winner. Yes. And he's a true Democrat, and I think that generation really, their values and our values were similar. What about Abuelita?
Yeah, well, she was tough. She ate the jalapenos every morning.
Okay. She had her chancla too?
Yes, she had the chancla. She told us very scary stories about La Llorona. If you were bad, the Llorona was going to come get you. But she also worked really hard for her family. She only went to school until 8th grade and had a lot of different jobs. But for 20 years, she worked in hospital housekeeping at the hospital where I was
Did
born.
they get to see you get elected
To the state senate, yes.
The state senate,
Not
yes.
to Congress, but
Same for me.
yeah. But we carry them with us,
Yeah,
right?
we carry the window every day. Yes.
Yeah.
But it was a privilege to see that your grandparents were there with you.
Yeah.
I think that's a great opportunity that life gives you, right? That you will never take back, right?
Yeah, that's so true.
So true.
Yeah.
So what do you see happening in the next few years in your political life, in your legislative life here in Washington? What do you see yourself doing?
Well, the next couple of years are, I think, going to be a really tough fight for all of us. Making sure that we get the gavels back so that we can pass good policy that makes life a little bit easier for the people that we work for. This president is attacking everything I care about.
And I saw you at the Rules Committee.
Oh, yeah.
You presented your amendment. Tell us a little bit about your amendment.
I brought a number of amendments, but Medicaid is really important to me. I had a sister who was born with really complex disabilities when I was 7. And my dad worked for the Naval Base Kids app and had good government employee insurance, but it wouldn't have come anywhere close to covering everything Olivia needed. But Medicaid expansion in Washington meant that she got health care. And so I've been fighting in my entire legislative career to expand Medicaid, to make sure folks have access to health care, not just in cities, but in rural communities like mine. And it's all at risk. I mean, it's over 700.
The CHC members submitted over 100 amendments.
Yes.
They really did a good job.
We were there.
Yeah, we did a good job. I want to congratulate all the CHC members.
Goodness.
The Congressional Hispanic Caucus por someter las enmiendas.
Yes.
But let's talk really important
Okay.
stuff. Talk to me about your dogs.
Oh, my dogs. I have 3 dogs. Juanito, come here. Oh, you don't want to come now. Come here, boy. Come on. Oh, he's gonna come to you. I see. I see how it is.
Come on, Ricky.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. His name is Bad Bunny, everybody. Don't get jealous. So tell me about the others.
So my other two dogs are named Frida and Ricky Martina. Frida and Ricky Martina.
Oh,
They're all
right.
named after Latino artists.
Very good.
My other two are pit mixes. They're all rescues, and they're too big to fly to Washington D.C.
This guy him and I got to know each other a little better today.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
likes
nice
you.
dog. He's a nice doggy.
He doesn't
With a name like that, Bad Money.
Yeah.
Tremendous, an artist. Well, great. This speaks highly of you. Also, your love for animals, right? I think your soul is transparent when you love animals. And if you have a transparent soul, you do good for your constituents.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So how would you like to close this episode?
Ooh, well, I want to know when, like, after you have had a really tough day at the Capitol, you know, when you've had a big fight, when you go home, what's the first song that you turn on to listen to like, get you in a good mood?
You know, I've been listening to the Rolling Stone because I'm from that age.
Uh-huh.
Most people think that I'm about salsa and merengue, but I like rock and roll too. Dominican guy,
Yeah.
rock and roll.
You're eclectic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny.
Beautiful.
You too, baby.
Beautiful.
Okay, there you go. He's going to you now. Thank you, everybody. Meet Emily Randall from Washington State, a great member of Congress, one that's here to shake things up. And guess what? She brought Bad Bunny with her.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thanks for watching Two Caucus. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming up next. Drop a comment, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And we'll see you next time on Two Caucus.